Right, hello guys. This is a video about pros and cons. This will be an ongoing series and it's going to be one at a time. So, we have this knife I made. We come with steel, made from a file. I think this is, I forgot what wood I made the handle out of. I made this a couple years ago. Yes, the transition's a bit wacky, but there's actually a good thing about this. I can choke up on the handle and get nice clean slices, and that's a pro. One pro. Another pro is this curve allows for slashing motions and it follows the arc of your arm. Con, tips a bit sharp, it does dig in here, gotta be really careful, so I don't tend to use it this way. For cutting practice, my finger here, which is a really good con, no, a really good bonus to it, and there is not really a thumb groove here, which I really will put in. Actually, I can put in too thin here. That's a negative right there, but it is a good knife. Well, I'm a bit biased, I made it, but also another good thing about it is this curve allows for a good slashing motion, but also quite quick recovery. So I miss, I can come back up with another move. What I do like about it though is you can reverse grip, but also it does the handle is not really refined. I do need to refine that, but it does lock in quite tight, which I like, but it does allow, it needs to be thinned out, so that's negative as well. And the curve as well is good for, I'm going a sheath for it, I haven't made one yet, but for a quick draw I will do a thing about that. Negative, this does rust. It's not stainless, it is high carbon, hand forged. If I don't oil it, it does rust. That's a negative about it. Positive is quite light, so it is quite a nippy blade, but it's also, the balance is quite quite even balance, as you can see, and that's quite good. But the thing about that is you can't get much power, and well, you can get a decent amount of power, which is good for recovery, but it ain't gonna chop. It's more of a slasher. What else? Like, if I was gonna remake this, I would have this point down a touch. So instead of it coming up like this crescent, it would be down around about, I would say around about there. I could grind it, but I don't particularly want to. It does take a while to grind this, and it is a nice knife, don't get me wrong. But it's good tight fit up, and I am being careful when I grab it. I'm not grabbing it like that, I am grabbing it, how can I show you this, like that. So my hand, yeah, I can do that, but I'm normally grabbing it like that, so I don't cut me. That lends it, but also is a good, because it's that balanced, it is quite a good flicky knife, so I can go and catch it. I'm catching it like that, catching it away from me. Should wear gloves, not really wearing gloves because I feel comfortable doing this for a few years. Handle could thin out on the belly here and have it as more of a curve. As I said, this is an ongoing thing, does take a while. Is a nice knife though. Again, I might be a bit biased, I did make it. Haven't got the other one I made. I will be getting that back. I lent it to my dad for his work, so that. But also with this crescent, it means I can put my hand here and get more pressure, or I can do a fist and get more pressure on the slashes, which is also a good cutter. I have done butchery with this knife, so it does go through joints quite nicely because of the curve, but also you can put your thumb here, reverse grip it, and do a pull cut, like a reverse pull slash. You can hammer fist with it, but you've got to get that point. You've got to remember where the point is. That is a con, but it's not really the best way to do a stab. Is up, and through, not like that. It's up and through. So that would be a good curved one, but I like it because I dropped it there. I haven't used this knife in a while because I've been doing different blades, but it is a nice little curved one, and it is good. The point is sharp, and I do need to put a more defined bevel here and thin out the back portion here. That's a negative, and that's all it is. It is a nice cutter. I will be doing some cutting tests with this blade when I get all refined and everything. Tune in for that and see what I mean. It does dig. I don't know if that transfers on camera. Ah, yeah, it does. But it does dig there, so it's not. You have to choke it down really far down to use it for a forearm slash, but I wouldn't do that. So you have got to be careful with it. So how I would do a slash is like that, crescent arc it, and you can get a really fast drawback cut. But I'm still getting used to doing all of this, but this does lock in. But I'm really trying to pull it out, but I don't want to pull out, which is what you want with a knife. I like it. Like, it's a good knife. Do need to improve on it though, and just what I'll do this video. Tune in for the next one when I will be reviewing this Kukri machete. But I'm not doing that on this video. I'll be doing that on another video, and that'll be the next video. Adios. Oh, and Assassin's Creed.